Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Cool Crone. And my guest for today is Sheila from Celtic Tarot. And here she is, beautiful Sheila. Sheila, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really excited to have you on.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I always say that being asked to come on somebody else's channel is a privilege, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, great. That's great. Well, I've been wanting to have you on for a long time, so you would think that I had like 5,000 questions in the background to ask. But since we're doing politics, it's very timely. And I have a few questions here, and I'm sure in the comments we'll get some people asking some questions. But tell us what's going on with you, with your channel. What's happening with you?
Hi. So let's see. You can come find me at Celtic Tarot Sheila. I'm on YouTube. I do political readings. Eventually, I will be putting up a post or a link that I can do private readings, and I usually do them through Zoom or Facebook, not Facebook, FaceTime, or a phone call. So you can do that. Look for that. Let's see. I was on Hogarth's channel last night with Lena and Deanne. So that was really exciting. I've been doing a couple of those.
Nice.
I'm in the midst of booking Linda G for a collaboration on my channel, our monthly collaboration for that. And let's see, what else? I don't know. I do a lot of stuff on my channel. Come find out.
I don't think I honestly don't think there's going to be anybody tuning in that doesn't know who you are or what you do on your channel. But just
Right.
so everybody knows, in the description box of this video, I have a link for Sheila's channel, so you won't be able to get away from either one of us. The links are there. All
There you
right.
go.
Great. So we have a few people in the chat, and if you guys want to put some political questions in the chat, we will answer them to the best of our ability. And without further ado, let's just jump up into some political questions.
All right.
So our vice president, Kamala Harris, has been in the news a couple of times. I've seen her being interviewed by different people. And her answer, usually when they're interviewing her, she really focuses on one or two topics. They're not wide ranging videos. So I heard her talking about um, the border. And I think I also heard her talking about just the election in general, just all the fake news, all the, ridiculousness that's going on. And of course, she always mentions women's rights and the autonomy that women need to have over their bodies. And so we know she's a strong proponent of that. And they usually also always bring up the fact that she was a prosecutor for a very successful and very visible prosecutor in California before she was in the Senate. So, what I want to know about Kamala Harris is how will her profile change over the next, what is it, like 5 months or 6 months we have before the election? I think it's about 5 months. And so we are starting to get into the zone, right, for the election. And I just want to know, like how strong is she going to play in that whole arena? And how are people going to be responding to her? Are they going to change in their response to her? So that's what I want to know about Kamala.
Okay, so you want to know like the future or what role she's going to play in the future
Yeah, well, no, in the election, just for this election,
in the election?
how's her profile going to change over the next few months for the election? And because they've put so many negative things into the public about her, so many
Of
times that
course they do.
media is just so negative about her, probably because she is female. And is that going to change? Are they going to begin to see her favorably?
No, we see her favorably. They don't, and they forget that what a vice president, what job they have. The vice president literally holds space for the president in case something happens, and
Yeah.
they kind of get to do whatever they want or whatever. I mean, how many other vice presidents do you really know that they're doing something?
Yeah,
So
like
they're just
can you name anything that Mike Pence ever did? No, you're right.
other than lie and suck up to the Cheeto, not much.
Not much.
So, there's one thing that with with Vice President Kamala Harris is that people keep on talking about Joe Biden's age, right? I don't
Yep.
give a flip about his age because we have a backup plan, which is Kamala Harris, and that is a good backup plan.
Very good. Yes, agreed. Agreed.
All right, let's see what she's going to. Huh, excellent.
Mm,
This is excellent, actually.
great. Tell us about it.
Goodness gracious. Okay. What I got here is the King of Swords, where it says bravery, courage into the conflict. She's going into the battle. Woo! And she's walking into that, and she's the unicorn. She's the unicorn of this whole thing. So she's going to be presented as the prize, the unicorn, the one who masterminds the rallies or whatever it is that he's going to do. And she's going to raise a lot of money. I got the charity. She's going to raise tons of money to the new heights. She's going to raise so much money in this campaign. And the second one is the Ace of Cups. Her cup will runneth over. And the helping hand. So she's going to play a huge part and a cup runneth over with the money and what she needs to do. She's the helping hand. And then the best one at the back is she's going to defend her boundaries and she's going to have really good luck at it.
Oh, wow. That's great. That is great.
Yep.
So
good cards.
Good cards. Yeah. So I got some interesting cards for her. Good, but interesting. So it started out with the Six of Swords for me. So there's something that she's moving on from whatever was going on before for her. And I think that might have been her kind of taking it lying down about how the media is treating her, because the next card is the King of Wands. So in this instance, I'm going to say that she's acting as the King of Wands. She's planting her flag and saying, this is who I am. This is the way you should know me. Don't listen to that BS in the media. This is who I am. Yes, I'm a woman, but I have done all the things and more that any of these men have done. So don't delude yourself that because I'm a woman, I can't do what's going on. The middle card I got for her is the Star. She's really going to come off very, very well. And I think that this energy of the Star for her is going to put a lot of people's minds at ease. They're going to feel like they can trust that she is the backup plan, that she is the best thing that they have had. Now, I do get the Three of Swords here. So, of course, there's going to be some controversy or some backlash or, the Trumpy people, the MAGAs saying crap about her. But then I get the Moon. So they have plans. They have plans in the background. They're not going to tell everybody what those plans are right today. But as we get closer to the election, I feel like, she's kind of going to become the secret weapon. Kind of goes along with what you were saying. She's kind of got a few things in her back pocket to pull out that's going to make people trust her more. Because I think, the people who like her already trust her. What we're talking about is getting voters who are undecided to trust her. Because a lot of voters who don't already support Biden are worried about her. And part of them not believing in him is Kamala. They don't want Kamala. So as they come to love her more, I think a lot of those undecided voters will come over. So I think her profile is going to be great.
Where do you live at?
New Jersey.
And you hear a lot of bad stuff about Kamala Harris? Because I very rarely ever hear anything bad about her.
Yeah, I hear a lot of negative stuff that she's ineffective and she's not doing anything. I mean, all the normal stuff that they say about vice presidents.
That is so weird because we don't hear that. We hear how strong she is, where she's the rally. I mean, that's the thing that I'm trying to figure out. How is it in Colorado we hear all the positive and wonderful stuff that's coming through our news, but you living in Jersey, you're getting a totally opposite narrative.
Yeah, and sometimes too, like she did that college tour, and I only found out about that by looking at news on YouTube of all places. So I'm like, well, why isn't anybody talking about this?
Because
Nobody.
that, yeah, we don't, I don't do, most people that live in Baltimore and all that do not listen to local news anymore. They
Yeah.
go on YouTube and they go on to specific things. TikTok is an excellent source of fast and furious news
Oh,
that's coming
wow.
through. I'm telling you, I have amped up my knowledge of the news and what's happening like right here, right now, is through TikTok. I know a lot of people don't like that, and that's fine. I'm on TikTok, so you don't have to. But I'm telling you, it'll bump up your, because even on TikTok, a world renowned social app, we get great and wonderful stuff about her. So this is really weird that I'm hearing you're getting hearing really negative stuff about her. Is
Well,
anybody else? Maybe is there anybody else in the chat
in the
that's hearing
chat,
it?
let me
Because
go back.
that's bizarre. I don't know. I don't
Well,
know.
like
Maybe I'm
Jane,
just
Jane the Seeker is saying, that's exactly what the Christian nationalists fear, a woman president. I mean, yeah, that is a general overriding opinion, I guess you could say. But here we go. Here's another one. I hear that she is horrible because she put a bunch of POC in jail for drugs. Yeah, she was a really effective prosecutor. So of course she had put people away. So I mean a lot of this could be sour grapes. It could be just people who are MAGAs and they're just somehow getting their voices out there in the news. I have seen that even for Biden, it's been in the last couple of months the news and information that I hear about Biden has become more and more positive. Um, and but up until then, even that was really horrible. Like they don't talk enough on normal news about his the wonderful legislation that he has pushed and the economy, the jobs. I mean, yeah, I have to get it from you. I'm going to listen to TikTok then and try to get the stuff from there.
just pop in and see what you can hear. I mean, just go literally put in a political TikTok. Actually, political TikTok it'll go through. But if you're on the red side, there's a huge difference between blue and red. But
Yeah.
you can listen to both. But anyways, I
Yeah.
was just that was just that's really bizarre to me.
Isn't it? Yeah, and it disturbs me because I really like Kamala. I was really
She's
supportive
been
of
very
her.
effective. She's been doing a
Yeah,
lot of stuff behind the scenes. She's literally been supporting. I mean, a perfect vice president supports the president, and she cannot and should not ever be in the spotlight.
right.
You
She
see what
shouldn't
I mean?
eclipse him, but she should
She
support him.
should never be in the spotlight.
Yeah,
The president is the spotlight and she is there to support, and that's what
yeah.
she does. She goes, I mean, that's what she's been doing, so that's
Another thing about her too. We all know it's a racial thing with Kamala. Yeah,
of
that's true. I mean, it's true. Some people just can't get over that. I know that when they had that whole thing down in Tennessee with the two Justins and I think it's Gloria Johnson when they all got kicked out of their House seats. Um, she was down. I think she was already scheduled to go down there for the shootings, and she not only talked very forcefully about the shootings and gun laws, but she also talked about supporting just democracy by pointing out that this was a travesty, kicking them
Mhm.
out and all that. So she was very strong with that too. And that college tour I thought was just spot on because it is the younger generations that are
Yeah,
going to cure things in our country. And she's speaking to that and she's
yeah.
connecting with them. So, yeah, I know. I'm very upset that she doesn't get better press, but I'm glad to know
Well,
that
she
in
doesn't
other
get
parts
better
of the
press
country
where
she is.
yeah, she doesn't get better press where you're at.
Right, right.
We're
That's,
doing pretty good over here.
that's excellent. That's great. But you're also closer to California. And I think California is very much pro Kamala.
Yeah, well, we're in the we are surrounded by we have
Yeah.
Nebraska, Kansas, Texas,
Yep.
and the only other blue state we have on the other side is New Mexico. But you go to then it's Utah, so we're not surrounded by anything resembling blue. Let me tell you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyways,
Cuckoo.
onwards, upwards, and onwards.
Okay, let's see. Let me see. So I start a couple of things. We did get a few questions in here. Um, Oh, okay, we'll try this. Okay, so Sheila Robertson says this is the best economy in U.S. history. How is this fact best put before the voters? Hmm. Is
I
it
don't
good?
understand the question. What do you mean?
So I think from the election, the administration's campaign, what's the best way for them to get that across to people? Just talking about it, I think. Just putting it in their ads. I mean, they could just put up the stat. How many jobs did Trump create and how many jobs did Biden create? I think the
Yeah,
number
they are.
for
Yeah, they have that. I mean, I can pull up any graph at all that we post and get the. I mean, we can personally get those posted out on our
wow.
Facebooks, any social media that you have. Post, 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 post,
Yeah,
post. My TikTok account is literally reposting to people who are Trump supporters, and I give them facts constantly. I
nice.
just literally
Very
send them
nice.
and give them. So it's up to us. It's up to us. How do you get that out the best? I do that. You
Yeah,
know.
and I think that people, especially people older like my generation, they don't think of that. They don't think that that's their role, and that's not true. Any social media that you're on, you could be on Facebook,
Yep.
Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Post it, as Sheila is saying. Take it upon yourself to put a fact check in for somebody who's posting something that's erroneous, or just post something great about Joe Biden that's
I
true.
always, yeah. I on my Facebook, I've had my Facebook for almost 20 years,
Right.
and I have a lot of friends on there that I didn't realize were Trump supporters, which was disappointing to me. Just found
Wow.
out. And but when I post on my personal one, I don't go after Trump. I just say, "Oh my gosh, look at this. Oh my gosh, look at this. Isn't this wonderful? I can only imagine how better our country is going to be, but look what's going on." You know what I mean? I always do that. And I always get, the Trump supporter and talk about something else. They always defer it to something, but I still get this, like, I still get it out without attacking anybody. Now on my TikTok, not so much, but you get to have fun on there. You get to say really whatever you want. All right. So the question is, how do we get it out there?
Yeah.
Hmm. You are not going to change one solid Trump supporter. You're not going to change their narrative or who they are. They are already at their gate and they're not moving.
No, but there are a lot of undecided people.
Those are not Trump. Those are not solid Trump supporters.
Nope, they're not solid Trump supporters. So the undecided people are probably the only ones that we can change the minds of.
I think they're already there, to be honest with you.
The undecideds?
Well, do you remember? Did you hear about Trump speaking at a
Yes.
libertarian?
What?
Those
Yeah.
are libertarians and also middle of the road people.
Okay.
So that was the whole. A lot of people that were libertarians, and what is it called? What's the third? Democrat, Republican, and what is RFK?
Independent? In,
Independent, yeah.
yeah.
So they libertarians and independents were there.
Oh God. He did
So
not do well.
no, so I'm pretty sure they're already there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're already there. I am not worried about Trump losing at all. My gut, my intuition, my cards, my being tells me he is going to lose.
Yeah.
Everything after he got the 34 felony convictions, I felt another shift come through. He is not going to win.
Yeah. I felt that too with the in fact, when I heard that it came, I thought it was going to take a little bit longer, a few more days. And so when I heard it, that kind of like was a jolt. And then I realized, oh my God, all of them? I was like, yes, that's so great. And over the next 24 hours, you could just kind of feel this, like,
Feel the whole thing shift.
yeah, it really shifted. It really did. You could
And I
feel.
got
Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
said I got beforehand how the jury felt. They felt
Hmm.
comfortable with each other, which really was important to find out and to know about how their energy was together. Because if they're comfortable with each other, that means all of them were looking for the truth, and that's yeah. So
Yeah, it was very, very, very heartening to get that decision come down. Um, but I think too, we had all just before that, we had begun to feel certain people turning away from him, but not
mhm.
in huge numbers. Just hear a little bit here, a little bit there. But then I think it was right the day of the conviction. I think Lisa Murkowski saying, "Okay, we should not make him the nominee."
Yep.
Just balls out said it. And I was like, yeah, thank you, Lisa. You should have like 15 people standing behind you saying that, and then 30, and then 60, and then everybody, because that's just wrong. So I forget what we're even reading about. We're reading about the economy. The economy. Okay.
Yeah. What's the best way to put the message out about the economy being well? Because with the economy is so definitely different than having inflation, and you can do inflation and separate it by state. Okay, so
Mhm.
if by state, one state does better in, and say, I think it's Rhode Island and a couple of them up there, Vermont maybe, are the best in the inflation. The inflation is down. They're the best ones. Now, why is it that one state is better and the other states are not? Now, somebody had did some statistics on that because Vermont has a higher, minimum wage, 15 and above. People are getting 15 and above. So the higher the wages are, the less the more people are buying. So their inflation is down. And then they went down to like Georgia and Alabama, where it's still 7.25
Mhm.
for the hourly wage. Now their inflation is sky high. Why? Because nobody can afford to buy anything. So when they do buy something, they have to make up for the loss in that product. And so they're, even though their stuff is not being bought up like it is in like Rhode Island,
Mhm.
they're making up their price. If five people buy something, they make up that high price of the loss of the people that are not buying anything.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's one thing that we got to put out into the whole thing as well, is like inflation. If How can it be inflation, like the president's fault for inflation, when it can be done by state?
Right.
Each
Yeah.
state has its own little thing, and if one state up here has figured it out, why isn't the other states doing it? And we all know, if a red state, most of the red states, the inflation is high, their minimum wage is low, and all of that. And that, why? Because they want to blame their problems on the president so that they can gain some perspective, right? This
Mhm.
is what's going on. If they make them suffer enough, maybe they'll reelect another Republican.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm off of my soapbox.
No, 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 you're so informed on this. You're so knowledgeable about this. I'm really glad you explained all that, because I was
Corporate
not
Greed,
connecting those
correct.
dots. I just know that the normal voter is just hearing really headlines. They don't dig down into it, and nobody explains it to them. So that was really excellent. I
Yeah.
I think that I think that as far as presenting this to the American people, I think Joe Biden's campaign is really taking the bull by the horns and really trying to present much more fact-based information in a lot of their campaign stuff. I mean, sure, they're saying stuff about Trump being a felon and stuff, and that's very good. But they are also promoting all the accomplishments that they've done. And I think it's going to pay off. I think in the end, most people are going to be persuaded that aren't MAGA, right? And personally, I believe that MAGA is actually a very tiny number of people in
I do
general, because I think there's so few registered Republicans left. And of those Republicans, a good majority might be MAGA, but they're not even they're not even like 40% of the United States population.
They
Republican.
are of the minority. I agree
They
with you
are.
there because we
They
have felt the shift. We felt the shift. When's the last time a Republican has won a race?
Gosh,
Think of one.
I don't know.
Last 2 years after the midterms, tell me a Republican that has won their race.
Well, there have been some on the East Coast, but not many.
Not well, then they're not making the news.
Yeah, they're not. They're not. That it's like in House of Representatives, there's something like 240 odd people, and out of that, there are a few Republicans, and some of them have won races, but the majority of people who are winning are Democrat. They
Yeah.
just are. They just
I'm
are.
talking after the midterm though. After the midterms, we have all of these races that we're
Right,
tracking, right?
right.
We're tracking ones that have been vacant, and we're tracking one right now here in Colorado, Lauren Boebert. So Lauren Boebert has, if you everybody, we should read on her.
Yes,
Um,
let's read on her.
yeah, we should read on her. But anyways, with answering her question, I think we should just flood social media, whichever social media you're on, and get the word out to anybody and anybody that would listen. And I think that's the best strategy at this point because I think Biden's campaign is amping up their little videos. If you go onto YouTube, you can download some of their videos or copy some of their videos. I show you how to do it if you need to know. And you can copy that video and post it anywhere you want. And those little videos are working as well. They're trying to get them pushed out. So, anyways, back to Lauren Boebert.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So
Lauren Boebert, it's just to give you a little synopsis of it. Lauren Boebert, of course, was for District 3 in Colorado, which is a great big, huge portion of Colorado, but it's all mostly rural towns and rural areas. So their big section is not as big as like a town in Colorado. So she couldn't really win because Adam Frisch is doing an excellent job. I want to read on, write Adam Frisch down so we can read and see how
okay,
his campaign is doing. But she only lost to like 500 votes, if that. She lost to, or Adam Frisch lost to her. So she won her race, but it was only like a margin of like 500, which is like this
yeah,
in
yeah.
right?
A hair's
So
breadth.
she thought that she's done a whole bunch of stuff, but she thought that she couldn't really win in District 3 anymore. So she thought she'd come over to Ken Buck. Ken Buck exited the Congress because he's sick and tired of the Republicans' crap. So he quit. And then they have on the 25th of June, this month, 25th of June, they have the primaries for the whoever's going to run against the sitting Republican. So they appointed somebody in that to fill out the rest of the year. So
Okay.
whoever gets that, so there's like 4 or 5 of them there, and I'm telling you, the Republicans in District 4 in Colorado tear her a new one. They can't stand her. They really can't stand her. They run a poll to see who is going to be the runner, and she comes in last almost every single time.
Yeah, I saw something when right after she announced, I saw something with all of those other people and she just looked like crap. I mean, she couldn't say anything that made any sense. And they
Well,
they did rip her up.
yep. Well, they had a commentator. They had somebody who is running the debate, right? And he just would
Mhm.
not allow her to run off at the mouth like they normally, like she's used to. She's used to being in District 4 or being in Congress and just blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
blah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
he's like, "You're not going to do that here."
I
And
love
so
that.
she wasn't allowed to run off at the mouth, and the rest and her other colleagues, although it's a debate, so you can give and take in that, all of her other colleagues just can't stand her, and they have a lot of dirt against her. So
Well, it doesn't take much to get dirt against her. I mean, her life is kind of a dirty
no,
mess.
she did it to herself.
Yeah.
So all right, so go ahead, what's next? I'm sorry.
Also, no, so we should look at Lauren Boebert. I've been shuffling on her and yeah, she is going to lose the election and she's going to try to take a lot of money and try to accept a lot of money, but I don't feel that I don't know, she may end up with unused money in her coffers. There's a lot of money here. She is just really immature in her approach to everything. She is just not a grown up. And so that's why basically why she's going to lose. And when she loses, I think she's just going to sort of creep off and be by herself for a while, and maybe she'll try to reinvent herself as something else, a political commentator or something like that, but I think her career in politics will be over with this election. That's what I got.
What cards did you get?
I got the 5 of Cups was the first card. So that's her being so sad, so bad with her election. I got the 6 of Pentacles. So somebody's giving her money. They're giving her money, but it's not really going to pay off. We got the Page of Cups. Little girl, immature. Where there she goes. She got the Hermit. So after the election, she's just going to creep off and be by herself. But then I get the Page of Wands. So she's going to try at some point to I don't know, justify her actions or come out with a different career or something. But I don't think it's going to work. But not great cards for her.
So I kind of asked the question, who is going to win, instead of on like Boebert. So I asked the question, who is going to win that primary?
Okay.
And I got the 7 of Swords, of course, deceit and trickery. If this guy, I don't know what's going on, but it's a Republican race, so
yeah, so they're both Republicans. Yeah.
And I got the 9 of Cups, the satisfaction and success of the King of Wands. So it's going to be a guy.
It's going to be a guy. Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a guy, and I also got the Hermit for her, so I drew 1 card for her.
So you're looking at the primary or the full election? Primary, right?
Primary.
Yeah.
Because she has to get through this June 25th. If she loses that primary, she's out completely. There is no path for her to get into the election, because this primary on the June 25th is the one that's going to go against the one who took over for what's his face.
Right.
Because there's somebody temporary in there right now.
Right. Well, I also got my pendulum saying no, she's not going to win the primary.
She's not.
So I think that's over.
Then her career is absolutely over. She can't go back to District 3 crying, seeing if she can. She's done. She's Great. Absolutely done.
Yay. And I know we're not supposed to, be joyful at the downfall of others, but she's been pretty nasty to people. So
can she keep the money? I'm not sure that they're supposed to. I think that's supposed to go back to the RNC.
Yeah.
The money that she raises.
I think you're right. But
that doesn't mean that's what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was just thinking. Who knows what's going on. Okay. So let's see. Okay. We did that one. What is going on? Let's look at this. This is not funny either. That Trump had that clip where he was foaming at the mouth. Did you see that?
I couldn't watch it. I knew it happened, but I literally could not watch it. There was no way I would be puking, because that kind of stuff just makes me sick to my stomach. Well, now, there's a few things that create cotton mouth. Number 1, you're severely dehydrated. Number 2, you're taking Adderall that severely dehydrates you. And 3, there's a third part, and there's somebody, I can't remember who it was I was talking with. It could have been Marina. But we were talking, and say, who in the heck allowed that video to go out to the public? Who's editing? Who's allowing it? Did he do that by himself? Did he not watch himself? Who's doing that? Who's allowing those to go out? I think he's doing it by himself. And I think that he's so narcissistic that when he makes a video, he thinks it's perfect.
I think you're right.
But good. I mean, he looked like a rabid dog.
He did. He looked bad. But I've had up close and personal experiences with narcissists in my life, and I've seen that. And I mean, no matter what the physical cause of it is, that person just keeps going because they are so narcissistic, and they do think that everything that comes out of their mouth is just, saving the world and so important. And so they don't stop. And so you've got this stuff coming out, and they're just so, they are self-aware, but they don't care. So it is just what you said. It's like, he probably saw the video and thought, oh, nobody will notice that. It's not that
Maybe.
it's not that
But
bad.
I would like to read on that and see what was going on.
Yeah,
What was
yeah,
the deal with that?
yeah. All right. So I threw some cards on that. Uh he needs he needs a doctor to take a look at him. He needs a I don't know if he has a doctor that travels with him, but he should have one because he's really he's older, and he's treated his body very badly. So, I mean, I think he is gonna have to have some kind of medical, at least a once over. I mean, if not somebody treating him for something, because that was surely caused by something that was very, very bad for his body. The human body doesn't normally do that. Um, and I think he'll resist it. And I think he'll come away from the whole thing deciding that, okay, I've cured myself. And he'll just think he's back in the saddle again. So I do think it's physical, Sandy Johnson. And I do think that he ultimately will need some sort of medical intervention because I kind of feel like it's not going to be the last time that it happens. I don't know that we'll see it. I mean, like Sheila said, somebody's got to be looking at his videos and editing things and not letting the bad stuff go out there. But uh, he's he's kind of losing ground where it comes to assessing his own presentation of himself. Like he used to be very careful with his hair, with his clothing, with the Spanx or whatever he wore to hold everything in because he was wearing probably adult diapers or whatever. He used to be very, very careful about those things. And you can see clearly in the last 18 months where he has just let down his guard completely on that score. I mean, I saw something the other day, some kind of interview that somebody was doing, and his hair was parted in the middle. And you could see clearly the balding and the sparseness and I was like, how did he ever let himself go out like that? So he's really lost a step where it comes to his self-care and his presentation of his image. And I think the foaming at the mouth, who knows if that's the first or 10th time that that's happened, but he doesn't think that it is an issue where it clearly is. Okay, that's what I got.
Well, so I got insatiable. This is like literal here.
Oh yeah.
Water, right? Water.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also got not taking a bath,
Oh.
not cleaning.
Oh God.
So he could be just doing it while he's dirty.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Shall we move on? Because that's just gross. I mean, he is just gross.
It was like a dirty thing. So that's I he's not if I had to sit back and just I don't like getting into his energy because it's so delusional. It
Yeah.
is so delusional. You get into his energy, and you know what the cards say? He's gonna win. He's the champion. He's God. He's close to Jesus. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That's what you get with him is when you
Yes.
get into his craziness.
Yes.
Now, I like getting into people around him. So let's think. Maybe I just poked myself. Hmm. But anyway, I'm a dork. Uh, maybe we can do like the energy of the people surrounding him. What his handlers? What are they
Yeah.
thinking? Because you know they have an opinion
Yeah. So
about
there's a
it.
guy. So the side there's Walt now, but then there's another guy who is Trump's bag man because they were just talking about this on Midas Touch. Uh, that's a bad man, John McTee. No, there's somebody else. Oh, they just keep referring to Walt Nauta, but I know there's somebody else. Okay, because I don't know. Is Walt Nauta still traveling with him and stuff?
I don't know, but we can. I mean, there's so many. There's service. There's Secret Service. There's his doctor. There's his. I mean, I have
Yeah, let's
Jackie
do
here. Jackie here. Jackie just texted me. He goes, "What's the deal with Trump's new doctor? The man can't be any kind of decent shape." I think his doctor may have put out a statement saying that he's in perfect health, but we should all know that he's not. So he's got a crack pipe, doctor
it.
that'll do whatever he wants. Pay him another $500,000, and
Yeah. Let's use the Secret Service people, like focus on them.
see what they think about his health and what they know.
Yeah. What do they know about his health? What are they? Ooh. Oh, good Lord. These cards are just terrible. Oh, gosh.
Go.
All right. So I get the nine of wands and the king of wands. This is the second time that I've gotten this in relation to Trump. So there is a feeling of almost a battle that they're trying to defend. That they and I don't think that there's people trying to kill Trump or anything. I just think that it's his mind. He's always, so I think part of their job is just to keep him calmed down and to keep him from going off in some sort of paranoid delusion about someone trying to hurt him. I mean, one of the last things that Trump put out there was that in the FBI raid at Mar-a-Lago that they were licensed to kill him or hurt him in some way, which I don't really think is true because it's just pro forma language, but whatever. So for the CIA people, they see that Trump is really heading for a huge downfall. They see that either mentally or physically or maybe legally. They just see that there's a huge downfall coming and they're trying their best to just keep him safe, physically safe. And at some point, they feel like they're going to fail. They just feel like either he's going to have some sort of health event that is really critical, maybe lethal, but they are trying their best to just keep him from bodily harm, from harming himself, because with all the stuff that he takes and he doesn't drink enough water and he's not bathing and all of that stuff, they're trying to keep him safe just so he can't harm himself, but also they worry that he's just going to cause himself to have some sort of event, physical medical event. So from their point of view, they know it's a finite gig. They know the contract is not going to last forever because they see that he's just in bad shape. So that's what I got. The final card I got for him is the Tower, and it's next to the Magician. So that's what I got. What'd you get?
They're judging it, but they're quiet about it. Right? Crickets, nobody's talking. But they have a judgment. I got the Five of Pentacles and the denial of his demise.
Yeah.
People that are around him, Secret Service, they're in they're in denial of it, or the crickets, or they're just letting it be. But they strongly believe there is a tragedy coming.
Yeah, they do. They can see it. It's
Yep.
it's like a slow motion train wreck or a slow motion car accident. It's like they know that they are witnessing this thing coming down the pike. It's oh God. Ugh, yeah.
It says it all by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Swords and then the anxiety. Look at this picture of anxiety. This isn't that not that one. The perfect representation
Yeah.
of what's going on with him.
Yeah, scared, panic. Yeah, it really, really is. And one of the things when people having like psychotic breaks and stuff, when they finally accept that things have gone off the rails and that they're no longer in control, the collapse that they go through is just heartbreaking. It's just heartbreaking to see. And
Yeah.
that's what I think he's heading for.
I've
Or
lost my passion for that man a long time ago, and I don't like to say that lightly because that's really hard for an empath to do. But I've
yeah,
lost compassion for him, and
yeah.
it's like I don't want anybody to suffer. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm
Oh,
saying is when it happens, I'm not sure that I'm going to have any sympathy for that because of how
yeah,
he what he has done,
yeah.
how he has lived his life, what has he done to this country, the people he has created.
Mhm.
Because somebody asked me on TikTok one time, what's the worst thing that Trump ever did? And I popped up and I said, he created you. That's the worst thing that he has done.
Mhm.
Is he thinks, I mean, how he has lied to his own people for so long. He has abused his own people for so long. And it's like that, what is that one syndrome where you start sympathizing with the abuser?
Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome, and then now they're in a cult. They all want to elevate him to Jesus
Pretty much.
level,
Yeah, pretty much.
right? I
Mhm.
don't feel sorry for him. I I can't help it anymore. I used to sound like a wonderful empath, and I'm like, oh, and I'm like, no, it's over. It's done.
Well, yeah, I mean, he has
It's
done some
over.
awful things. He really has. That is so true.
He has zero compassion for anybody else.
No, he's a narcissist. He's a what's the word they put before it? I always forget that. Oh well, he's a narcissist. He's a really bad narcissist. Um so what do we what do you think the interview is going to be like with his new probation officer? How do you think that's going to go?
Oh Lord, let's look at that. That's got to be hilarious.
I would give anything to be a fly on the wall for that one. That one I would want to see.
I'm pretty sure Trump is walking in there with rules and regulations for them,
Yes. Okay, he
not the other way around. He's going to tell them what he's going to do
yeah.
and
Yeah.
what he's not going to do.
Yeah.
And I hope that probation officer has backup when that happens. I hope the boss of all bosses, the top dog, deals with Trump
Yeah.
so that he doesn't get manipulated.
Well, they should record it. It should be on videotape so that he
It
can't go
should be.
back. It just really should be.
I agree. Is my shuffling too loud?
No, it's beautiful. I love hearing you shuffling.
So people are like, tell Sheila shuffling's loud, and I'm a loud shuffler, so I can relate.
I'm a loud talker, so I can relate.
Okay. I don't understand that statement. She's a smart, strong black woman. Karma for being racist. I don't know what that means.
Is that in regards to Kamala Harris?
I know. I'm not sure. I was just looking
Yeah.
at it.
No, I don't know.
Maybe she's answering somebody else.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, somebody, Jane the Seeker was saying everybody needs to read Project 25. This Wednesday the 12th? Yeah, this Wednesday I'm doing a Reveal the Future show, which is a visualization show. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I've been listening to all sorts of commentators about Project 2025. I'm going to take the four basic areas that they address and we're going to flip them to be positive. 2025 never happens, this is what it is, and we're all going to focus on that and just send energy out into the universe for just nullifying all of that and making it the way normal people would have it. So you guys should all tune in on Wednesday, 7 o'clock Eastern. We're going to be doing, it's a short show, it's usually about 45 minutes. We're going to be talking
Flip
about
the script. Flip the script.
Yep, that's what we're going to do. We are going to flip it. Okay, back to the interview with the probation officer. Are you ready?
I am ready.
You go right ahead then. I'm just going to peek at a few of these comments.
All right, so I did just a down and dirty Celtic cross, meaning that I just did the 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyways,
Okay.
the Page of Swords coming in. He's gonna walk. He's gonna walk into that probation office, wherever he's going to be, and they already know his ploy is going to be deceitful. It's going to be the person, and he's gonna try to get them tripped up, and like they won't let me do this, and then go out and tell his people that he's being prosecuted again, like Jesus is. The Page of Pentacles, the mindset, they're going to be dealing with a child. They're going to be literally dealing with the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is that, normally it's a very, very good, positive card, but I think the Page of Pentacles it's like a financial opportunity is what it is. That financial opportunity, but not much because it's just a page. I have this right here. He's going to try to find a Republican. Do you got any Republican ones? Do you have anybody that's on my party that can be my probation officer? I really need one of those. He's literally going to try to find somebody who loves him in order to be his guy. But what he's going to get is a King of Cups. I think this is the boss. And the King of Cups is that the King of Cups is going to, set the rules down, be strength and balance and diplomacy and social skills. This guy's whoever his probation officer is going to be has social skills. So I mean, they already have a plan. They already have a plan, but Trump is going to come in and try to find somebody that loves him. Do you have somebody that loves me? Anyone? Bueller?
I think you are so right. I don't even need to read my cards. I think everything you said was so right. I think that's everything he's going to do. And I just, again, wish I could be a fly on the wall. I am going to bring up some of the comments that people made. This was one. Lorraine says that the probation meeting is being done on Zoom, and Sherry Kana says, I read someone saying he cut his hair so they can't drug test his hair for long-term drug use at the probation.
Oops.
And then we got Rebecca who says maybe he'll drink some bleach. I don't know.
He's got to clean his body out.
That's right. And then Lisa DeMars was referring back to the foaming thing, and she said, I think he had a teeth whitening just before. The peroxide makes you foam up. And that's true. That's really true. And we had Rose Blue said, bad diet, meds, soda, stress plus rage. Not a good result. And so these comments are just hilarious, you guys. I had to put them up on the screen because you guys are the best. But Sheila, I think you nailed that. I think that is exactly how it's going to go. Can you imagine him going, yeah, I can. I can see him there with a goddamn legal pad of things that he wrote out in Sharpie that are going to be all the
This is how we're going to do this. This is how we're going to do. I'm not following your rules. You got to do what I say.
Yeah. And he wow, that may push him into incarceration, if he's just not going to participate.
Let's read on that because I know that the judge is probably well on his way of his decision, what he's going to do.
Yeah, I think so too. But let's read on it.
Yeah, he is a judge. That means they come up with plans long before.
Oh yeah. Plus, they've got all their years of experience to draw on. And just because this has never been done for a president before, there have been very, very high-level public people, including vice presidents, who have had, penance imposed upon them. So they've got a few things they can draw on.
You know what I'm going to have? I'm going to get my haunted house deck.
Oh, that's appropriate.
My favorite. This has been my go-to. Haunted house deck has been my go-to for the Republicans for years. And let's see. There it is. Let's see what my haunted house deck has to say. In the haunted house deck, it's not like I'm talking to any ghosts or anything. It's just going into the spiritual aspect of it with a gruely twist to it.
Nice. Well, I'm switching to the zombie deck, so that might be the other side of that.
If anybody is wondering, this is what they look like. My haunted house.
Yeah. Oh, they're very pretty.
You can get them on Etsy or Amazon. That's usually the only place I go. And then you just punch in haunted house.
It's easy for you to say.
Yeah, not so much. Not with this tongue. Blah, 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 blah. All right, let's see what my I have. I'm gonna go mute and I'm gonna shuffle for a little while. So
And
if you got,
what are we reading on again?
we're reading. If Trump's going to be put in
jail.
prison, he's
Jail.
going to. Yeah.
Thank you. We're still here, everybody. We're just concentrating on our cards.
That is true, but I just read it says, will his probation officer give him any kind of protection? I'm not sure a probation officer is there for protection. I had a very, very, very good friend. Her name is Loretta, and I'm not going to tell you her last name because she's still a probation officer. And she'd tell me, we're not there for them. We're there for the courts. Right. Their loyalty is to the court. Their loyalty is to the rules and regulations of the law. They are not there for them. So,
and anyone who is an officer of the court, it's illegal for them to lie to the court. So, put two and two together here.
Oh no!
Is it good?
I think so. Oh my goodness! Huh. I wonder why that one. Okay. All right. There we go. There's one card in there that always kind of confuses me, but you want me to go ahead and go, or?
Sure, you go ahead and go.
As long as you promise me you read yours at the end too.
I will read mine at the end. I will.
Okay. All right. So the first thing I got is this trying to hide evidence again, trying to smooth it over, hide. See how she has the swords in her hand and she's hiding from the people, and so the swords is knowledge. Swords are beliefs or thinking or conversations or whatever. So he's trying to look good now that he went against the judge for so long, but the judge kind of sits there with a light spotlight. Mm-hmm. The judge sees what's going on. The judge has watched the whole thing. Do you see him? He just has that. In the background, in this video, in this card, there's somebody right here looking through a glass window. I don't know if you guys can see.
Barely. Yeah, but thanks for pointing
Trump
that out.
in the back, and the Trump in the background, watching the judge have a flashlight or a torch towards all of his stuff. So he sees the deceit. Those are the two for the Celtic cross, right? Mm-hmm. So we have here the magician in his head. Literally, Trump thinks that he can play the magician. I'll just turn on the charm and he'll like me. I know it, right? Mm-hmm. This can also be the judge. Like, you can't fool me.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I know all of your tricks. Mm-hmm. I know how you do all your tricks. So he's like standing there. So the magician could be for both sides.
Yeah.
I also have the whole at the bottom, the feeling, this foundation of this question. And again, she's sitting there on a merry-go-round and she has the light in her hands. Mm-hmm. It's not this is like supposed to be like the Knight of Wands. So it's like the judge already has a plan. So that's good news. Yeah. So here going into the question, Trump's he's being read his last thoughts, like this is a deathbed.
Yeah.
And the priest is giving him his last, what is it?
Last rites.
Is it the last rites?
Yeah.
Is that okay? The last rites. So that's what that's coming into here. He's giving him, and Trump's going, no.
Yeah. I
So
see that.
going, I know. So going forward, we have the authoritarian. He's sitting on his throne. He's going. He's the good one. The
Mhm.
the judge is the good one. He's a good judge. He's going to think about it. And I get the twins. This is, Trump is a Gemini. He's a demon Gemini, but he's
He
still a
is.
Gemini.
He is.
Well, I get the twins, and this is what comes after the twins. This is the reason why I was laughing.
Oh
Do
my
you
God.
see
Oh my God.
the darkness coming into him, laying down, being sick,
Yes.
taking a rest, swimming, laying down, something is going to create. This used to be my coronavirus.
Yeah.
When I predicted that Trump was getting the coronavirus, this was my coronavirus for him.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So his sickness is there. So then I got the tower.
Wow.
Which way this is, but
Of
the
course.
tower. This is
Of
outside
course.
influences. The tower. So this one here confused me. This is a happy moment, but I have a feeling this is a happy moment for us.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Then the last two that I have is these I think are possibly years or months that are firing at him.
Yeah.
And I don't know. He's still trying to get out of it. He's still trying to be like sexy. Please
Mhm.
don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Right? He's
Yeah.
still trying to do it.
Yeah.
So there's a few things that I think this whole reading says, that the judge is saying. There's a few things that I think maybe happen. He may give him such restrictions on his probation. Like, you can stay out if you do these rules, and he's going to put them really tight because he knows him. And the moment he violates it, he's going to snatch him up off the ground, or he does it right away. I don't know. But this right here, he's no, no. So whatever he gets, he's not going to like.
Yeah. Wow. That was a great reading. And that's great. That's really great. I'm still going to read my cards, but that was great.
Yes,
So as I was shuffling, I just flat out got the tower jumped out. I got that just jumped out of the deck. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Well, we know this is a shit show. Okay, here we go. So he's going to start out his relationship with the probation officer on such a note that I got the Ace of Hazards, which is the Ace of Pentacle, that, they're just going to be like, I know, can you see all the goofy stuff,
yep,
all the
yep.
crap up here? He's just going to make such an impression on them that they may even cut the meeting short because he's like a billboard coming in there. So they're going to be like, oh, the judge warned us about this. So, I don't know if they've talked to the probation officer before they interview Trump. I have no idea. So that's just, random opinion speculation. But then we get the Six of Hazards, which is the Six of Pentacles. And this is the guy trying to run the lawnmower. And the guy standing behind him is trying to tempt him with a stake so that the zombie keeps going forward. So there's something that they're trying to induce him to go along with the game plan, which is, as we know, probably just a futile exercise. He's a narcissist. He wants to run the show. It's just not going to happen that way. I think that, yes, I think the end result of all of this is that there's going to be incarceration because they just can't play ball with Trump. He just can't do it. He's incapable of following all of these rules. I get the Nine of Swords again. And this time I get the Nine of Swords where it's in a hospital bed. So I'm thinking that a little bit of this is going to have to do with his medical condition, but a lot more of it is going to have to do with his personality and just how childish he's being. He is a little kid. He's not a person that you can deal with like an adult or rationally. He's incapable, especially when he's this frightened and he's this scared. Because I remember all the interviews with Michael Cohen, he's always said that the thing that Trump is so afraid of is being incarcerated. That is his biggest fear. And the final outcome that I get here, kind of similar to yours, it is the Two of Swords. So it is a two. And I think this is going to leave him kind of just flailing. Like if you have the image of Trump with his hands going like this, now they're going to be just like going like he's just going to be looking all over the place trying to figure out what the hell he's supposed to do with this. He'll try to appeal everything. I mean, I don't know if you can appeal a probation officer's report, but
No, you
he's
can't.
gonna,
You
he's going
can't.
to tell his magazine.
Appeals are yeah, almost null and void.
Yeah,
Um, in order to appeal something in New York, you have to come up with new evidence or go after the procedure or what happened in the court. So that whole case was ran perfectly. So there
yeah,
was nothing in that procedure whatsoever that the judge did wrong or anything like that. The procedure was perfect. So there's being an appeal. They're like there's nothing to appeal.
zero
And you
chance
have to
on
come up
the.
with new evidence in order to get to get an appeal. Anyways, while you were talking, the
Yeah.
thought came into my mind that maybe, like everybody's been saying for quite some time, maybe that's the reason why I got. And then you're right, it was the exorcist card, and then the sickness card. Maybe he tells him he has to go into like rehab or
Oh,
medical
um,
facility to get him better. And that may be the reasoning why that I just literally pictured. I'm like, what if he just says he has to go in for medical?
yeah, he might try that. But I mean, do you see him actually going to a place of incarceration?
No, you know what? I just don't get
No,
that energy.
not right away. Not right away. I mean, I think ultimately they may incarcerate him in some fashion, either a hospitalization or something like that. But I'm thinking that he's got some more tricks up his sleeve.
Who, Trump?
Yeah, like
I
running
think he's
away.
all, I think he's all tripped out.
But he may try to make a run for it.
Of course. I mean, well, his kids were down in Guatemala a week or so ago. Now, do we think that they were down there scoping out a good place for him to go? Possibly.
Oh, don't you think he'd just go straight to Dubai?
I don't know.
We
Can
don't.
he?
Well, yeah, that's one of the countries where he can travel to as a convicted felon.
Yeah, but he doesn't have enough money to live in Dubai.
Yeah, but doesn't he have some kind of relationship through Jared with Ben Salman?
I don't know because Jared and Ivanka has literally said we're not doing anything with that guy
You're
anymore.
right. You're right. I think he's
Relationship
screwed.
is a
I think
little.
he's screwed. But I don't think the Secret Service would let him go. I just think he'd try. You know what I mean?
If I
See what
was
I'm
a
saying?
Secret Service person, I'd call my boss and say, "I'm out. Peace. Let him go." They're not
Yeah.
gonna. They're not there to restrain him.
Yes, but they can't allow him to break the law while they're watching, can they? Or do you know?
I don't. I think Secret Service is there just for me being in that realm.
Yes.
They're not. They're not going to stop him from breaking the law. They're not going to stop him from leaving. They're going to report on it.
Hmm.
They're going to put it in a detailed report back to what happened. But
Yeah.
they're not there to force him to do anything. They can't force him to do anything. They're literally there just to
Right.
protect.
But they wouldn't want to ruin their lives and their careers and their jobs, so they would report on it.
They have to.
Yeah.
They give a detailed report of all the events that happened that day. We have a log of every single thing that the Secret Service does every single day. It's
Yeah.
all secret, of course,
Yeah.
because it's called
Yeah.
Secret Service. But each
Right.
one of them has to write out a detailed report at the end of the day of all of the where'd you go, what'd you do, any incidences, everything, every single one of them.
Oh, can you imagine having to read those reports? Oh
I
God.
would love to get my hands on them.
Yeah. What a movie that would make, huh? That would
Yeah,
be good.
they don't. Well, they don't. What they don't put in there is gossip or this might happen
Yeah.
or could have happened. All they can do is report. Is watch and report.
Facts. Yeah, the
That's it. Yeah,
facts.
the
Yeah.
facts. They don't put their feelings in there. They don't put their
No.
thoughts in there.
Mm-mm.
They just report on the facts of what happened that day. So
Wow. Because I
yeah,
think I think that Trump is so panicked that he may in a spasm of reaction to this horrible situation, he's going to try. He's going
please
to
let
try.
him try.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Right. I know. Like, see ya.
And whatever you do, leave like thousands or millions of tickets for your followers to follow you over there.
Yeah, that would be great, wouldn't it? Oh God, that would be great.
Yep.
That would be great.
All the millions they gave, just leave all of those tickets to whoever wants to follow me. Let's go.
God, that's so true. That's so true. Well, we've been on for an hour and 10 minutes, and I think we've pretty much, cured world peace and hunger. So I think we've solved all the problems of the world.
This is true. This is true. I mean, I don't know. It's just like looking at the energy of what Trump's punishment is,
Mhm.
for some reason, is just not clear. And
Yeah.
I think it's because it's never been done before.
Also, he's got that weird energy. He is a Gemini, but he has Uranus conjunct his sun, which makes his energy extremely unpredictable. That's the whole nature of Uranus. And you got to admit, all the way along these things, nobody's really been able to predict accurately even things like January 6th or,
No,
the
that's not true.
no?
Yeah, we predicted. I remember doing it. And Jackie, who is watching, she can vouch for this. I
Okay.
remember doing a video, and I got a first stage. I got fighting. I got that, and I kind of got scared.
Oh,
And Jackie had called me, or we were texting or something like that, and I said, I literally just got that there's going to be a big fight or something going on. There's a big ordeal that's going to happen.
wow.
Um,
Wow.
at January 6th, and I was just too afraid to say it to the public.
I don't
It was
blame you.
back at the time where we were trying not to be fear mongering,
Right.
but I literally, and I'm not the only one that saw it. And there's a few of them that actually said it out loud that there's something building,
Wow.
there's something going. He's not going peacefully. With the all of his words that he said, come back. It'll be wild. They drew on that. Be wild. We got the fighting card. We got the first stage. I got the first stage card for weeks.
Wow.
Achieving the first stage.
Wow.
First stage.
Wow.
We definitely got a lot of that. I remember doing a daily card draw like each day leading up to January 6th. And I got something was going to happen on January 2nd. And the people who have followed me for a while, they know that they watch this. I got something's going to happen on January 2nd. And that is going to also put Biden ahead of Trump. And sure enough, on January 2nd, the recording of Trump calling the Secretary of Georgia and it being
Yes.
taped. That's what
Yes.
happened January
Yes.
2nd. That's
Yeah.
when that report came out. So we were all seeing it. We may not have understood a lot of it because that would have been the first time that a insurrection happened in this country.
Yeah.
But we saw the
Yeah.
fighting. We saw that the first stage achieved. We saw the planning. We saw what they were thinking. I mean, it was all there.
Yeah.
This one here just seems a little different. I think it's because we're dealing with intelligent people who haven't made a solid decision sometimes
Yeah.
how to handle this and how to take the temperature down of this country and also punish Trump. It's a delicate situation.
It is. And I also think that people like the judge, the probation officer, members of the court, they are all trying to keep this secret. They don't want him to know. And so I think there's a big cloak of secrecy around all of that stuff too. You just said in the reading, yeah, they already have their plans, but probably we don't know exactly what those are. So I think the whole idea of trying to keep things secret is a part of the befuddlement of this moment.
Well, here's one thing about reading on people is that the public people we can read on because they're in the public and they've already given permission to put out there their business of what their job is. I
Hmm.
couldn't go into the judge's personal life and actually get permission for that. It'd feel creepy to do that anyway. I wouldn't do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
However, they also have the opportunity when they say no, you cannot have that information. That means we cannot have that information. We don't have permission. It's
Yeah.
not like we have a key that we can unlock the secret door when we don't have permission to go in. So there's that. And I always want to put that out there. Just because we can't see it or whatever, it's because they've already locked it. Now a judge is going to know this is secret. This is not for public consumption, and that's all he has to do or say.
Right.
right?
And there's a lot of things in the law that they want to keep confidential. So I think a
Absolutely.
lot of people surrounding the courts are very, very well versed in how to keep things confidential, and just the mental mindset of this has to be kept secret or this
Yep.
has to be kept confidential. And in government too, there's so many areas where it's just got to be kept secret because people's lives are at stake. So we don't want to put those things out there. But I do think that trying to predict just Trump's actions and the January 6th. Yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. I do remember people reading on that. You in particular, but Trump's actions are unusual and difficult to predict. Just him alone. Now the people all around him, that's a whole conspiracy. Maybe that is the way that the energy is able to be seen because it's more people around him. But
Yeah.
Trump himself, he doesn't know how to keep a secret. He blurts out everything, but then he goes and he does these cattywampus things that everybody's like, what? They're just out of left field. So,
Delusional.
yeah,
It's like
yeah, yeah,
it's like trying to read a book where all of the alphabet is upside down and circling.
yeah,
That's what it feels like when you read Trump's. It's all ego, and he's grandiose. And if I had read just on Trump, boy, I tell you what, my cards are. He's a winner, and we all know he's not. Because if it's just him, I learned that when I was doing checks on him back in the day. I'm like, I'm gonna stop reading on his energy. Let's read on everybody around them. What are the supporters think? What does his cabinet think? What are everybody around him? Then I started to getting the true story.
yeah,
It
yeah.
made a lot more sense to
Very
me. I'm like,
smart.
okay,
That's
all right,
very smart. Well, Sheila, this has just been great reading with you. We're going to have to schedule another one soon because I just really enjoy your intellect about this. Your energy and your understanding of it is just amazing, and I'm very very happy that you brought all that to the show. That was just really great. So, thank you everybody in the chat. You guys had great questions. Thank you so much for that. And we did look at a lot of your starred comments because some of them were really damn funny. And, and some of them were great questions as well. So thanks very much, everybody. Thank you for joining us for this. This is a really fun show. I'm really happy that you all made it here. And hopefully we'll be seeing Sheila back on our channel sometime soon. What do you
sure,
think, Sheila? Yay.
sure,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right, everybody. Take care.